Martin, your character in this film, Uncle Ben, he's a regular guy from Queens, and that's why I like him, because as a New Yorker, there is no one quite like a guy from Queens. Would you agree with that?
Probably.
There's no one like. What do you think defines guys from Queens?
I don't know. I guess there's more firemen and police officers and civil workers in government. So there's a lot of responsible people in Queens.
Sure, and you shot the movie on location too. I
mean, in Queens.
You were running around Queens at night.
I was, yeah.
Well, what is that experience like? I mean, being on location for a big movie like this.
I used to live in New York. All our family were born and raised here in the '60s. So I made my first movie here in the Bronx in 1968. So it's been a while since I've actually worked on location in New York City.
Has New York changed at all since the '60s?
A lot, yeah.
In what way?
Well, there's a lot more of us, people. Unfortunately, it's gotten far more expensive, so I don't know how, working people can live in Manhattan,
Gotta go to Queens.
You gotta go to Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx. We lived in every borough but Queens.
Sure.
At one time or another. So, but it just concerns me how difficult it is, how expensive New York City is, but it's a great energy and it's a great city.
And are you a comic book guy? I mean, were you growing up with reading comic books?
No, not particularly.
Or do you see comic book movies? I mean, you're starring in one of the biggest comic movies of the year. Are you well versed?
Afraid not. I did one years ago called Spawn. And that was really the only one that I was involved in until Spider-Man.
Do those kind of movies feel different to you than some of the other more naturalistic films that you've done? Like
well, it's a whole different genre, isn't it? I mean, it's not something you see every day, and yet it has a grip on our our culture, our pop culture, and people respond to it. They're extremely American. They're very moral. They're family oriented. They're widely imaginative, and it's very satisfying to see them, So it's no wonder that they're popular.
Do you think there's something inherently New York about Spider-Man, or Queens about Spider-Man?
There is now. No, it is. It takes place in New York, of course. We shot the interiors, of course, in a studio in Sony in Los Angeles, but all the exteriors were done here.